Welcome to the first edition of the weekly Sportscast with your hosts Jake Gould and Brandon Skinner.
This week's episode is brought to you by JaVale McGee's Rat Tail. We're not sponsored. It's just ugly. Let's get into it.
So, here we are.
Here we are, man. What's good?
We're just two high school kids from Jacksonville, Florida. Go Jags, obviously.
Go Jags,
Duval
obviously.
till we die.
Duval till we die. Lock down the bank. All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. And, we love sports, so we decided to start talking about it with each other and record our conversations. And that's the gist of the podcast. It's gonna be mainly NBA and NFL. We're gonna throw in a little bit of hockey, a little bit of baseball too. If there's like Olympics or something, we can break that down too. But it's that classic high school jam.
That's what I'm saying. And every week we'll make sure to include a Jags corner at the end of every episode, talking about the current state and events and
state of the Jags,
the happenings of our Jaguars with our man, the Godfather, and Shad Khan. So you know how it is. So let's just get into our first topic. What you say, Jake?
All right, that's cool. First, we're gonna be talking NBA Conference Finals. We're gonna be going in depth into Game 4 of the Cavs Celtics and Game 4 of the Warriors Rockets. Let's start with the Cavs.
Start with the Cavs, man. So what is there to say? I mean, they started off, they won. You know how it is. The Cavaliers ended up beating the Celtics. 111 to 102. LeBron James, he just did his thing. LeBron, he ate, man. LeBron did very, very well. He played 42 minutes. And he had 44 points.
Nothing less to expect from LeBron.
Nothing less to expect. He dropped 44 points, and he just played well.
Both teams have won all their home games so far. Celtics, of course, are undefeated at home in the playoffs. Cavs took the 2 in Cleveland, so it's going to be a big Game 5 coming up. This was a big game for the Cavs to win. Yeah. It would not have been good for LeBron and co to go down 3-1.
Yeah, going down 3-1, headed back to the Garden would not have been good for LeBron and his players, the rest of his people, the rest of his high school team.
Let's talk about his players. Tristan Thompson got another start again, doing his classic big whatever.
Big whatever.
He's a big man.
He's a big man. He played a big man. Tristan, he finished with 13 points, 2 blocks, and 12 rebounds. So, he was doing his thing.
Solid game from Tristan. Kevin Love, he got into foul trouble. He got 5, I think it was in the second or the third.
Yeah.
Still finished with 9 points, 11 boards, 3 assists, including that beautiful chuck to LeBron.
Oh, that was cute. That was so cute. All I saw when LeBron caught that was just flashback to his old high school days, playing high school football, man.
But the biggest thing with Kevin Love getting into foul trouble is that opened up playing time for Larry Nance Jr.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was one of the big midseason acquisitions at the trade deadline.
With that whole revamp of the roster, Larry Nance came
out
in
with
there.
the old and with the new, and Larry only played 10 minutes, but he still was able to score 7 points, get 3 boards, 1 assist, and 1 steal and 2 blocks.
Yeah.
All that in 10 minutes, a plus-minus of 7, which is really big because the Cavs bench has been always up and down ever since the deadline, even with all the new guys, and it's good to see Nance get in there because he started for 3 games of the season. He got 3 double-doubles in a row.
Yeah, and the Lakers, whenever he started, he was a double-double machine, churning out these double doubles, getting points and rebounds, and
it's good to see him back in the rotation.
Good to see him back, and just like in his LA days in Cleveland, you see he does a little bit of everything. In just 10 minutes, he got 1 statistic in every major category. He got 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist, and 3 rebounds, and 0 turnovers. That was already said, but it's always nice to see. For me personally, I like seeing a guy who can fill up a stat sheet, not just with points or with just rebounds. Someone who's a very versatile multi-tool. As you would say.
J.R. Smith, another start. He made 3 threes.
That's threes.
About it. That's all he asked
J.R. Smith, all he has to do is make 3 threes and just be a 3
and 9 from the field. 3 threes, 9 points total. Kyle Korver, again, a big key to the Cavaliers in this postseason. 14 points off the bench. 4 of 7 from the field. He got 4 boards. He had 3 blocks.
3 blocks.
That's unbelievable.
Kyle Korver, 36 years old, white dude. 37 years old.
37 years old, shooting guard.
Practically using a walker out there, getting blocks on people, man. He was locking down Jaylen Brown most of the night.
He had a great hustle in that game.
He did.
And he is, as I said before, he is key to the Cavaliers in their postseason. I believe they only have, they're like 7-2 or something like when he scores 10 points.
Yeah.
In the postseason.
Yeah.
So, Jeff Green, 20 points, 20 minutes, 2 points, nothing there.
Playing good. So yeah, basically, this is the recipe for the Cavaliers' success. You know what you're getting from LeBron night in and night out. You're getting a dominant player, the best player.
A triple-double
You're getting
or
a
50
triple-double.
points, sometimes both.
Sometimes both. Arguably the best player in basketball ever. You're getting him, and
Second.
I said arguably, Jake.
Okay,
It's okay.
okay,
I know
okay.
you're a Jordan lover. You're Jordan sexual. It's all good. But that's just like I was saying. That's the recipe for the success for the Cavaliers. As long as they get good production from their supporting cast, you know what you're getting from LeBron. And so when all that comes together, they're a very difficult team to beat.
Yeah,
very
I mean,
difficult.
they've upped their defense in the postseason. All they need is like 30 from LeBron, 10, 15 assists from him. They could use a 10 and 15 and 10, 20 10 nights from Caleb,
Obviously,
10 and 10
yes.
from Tristan, 4 threes from JR,
I know.
and I completely forgot about George Hill. He was a big.
Yeah. Talk about underrated players. Yes, George Hill was.
He is also a huge part of this postseason for the Cavaliers. George Hill, 38 minutes for an over 30-year-old, which is good. 13 points, 6 of 9. He had 4 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals.
2 steals. Yep.
Only 3 fouls.
Only
3 fouls. George Hill's also been a huge part of this postseason. I mean, LeBron said that he wanted to trade for them at the deadline, and that's what they did. So, I mean, it's good to see. Whenever he scores in double digits, I believe the Cavs are also. That's another key to their success. He had a good series against the Raptors, had a slow 2 games in Boston. Good to see him get back into the groove in Cleveland. Hopefully the Cavaliers can continue this momentum.
I agree. George Hill did what he was supposed to do, basically. He came in, he didn't turn the ball over at all. He was a smart veteran player, veteran point guard. He played well. He managed the game a lot more than he did back in Boston in those first 2 games, and he looked calm, he looked confident out there. He looked like he was a veteran quarterback, just, scanning the field, going his rotations, and he played well, and it translated to a Cavalier success as they tied the series 2-2.
Correct. It's the biggest lead for the Cavs, 19. Cavs out-rebounded the Celtics, 27-37. The Celtics actually had more assists and steals than the Cavaliers.
Yes.
Cavs killed them in the blocks, 8-3. And the Cavs, if you watch the game, you saw the Cavs got a lot of fast break points.
True, yes.
Which was a big part of their success. The Celtics made a lot of sloppy turnovers. A lot of their guys did not have good nights. But the Cavs had 18 turnovers to the Celtics 9.
Yeah, Cavaliers had a lot of turnovers, a lot of sloppy turnovers, but that, like Jake said, that transition offense is what got them going. When you see LeBron James run down the floor like that freight train, you don't want to get in front of him, and he got a lot of points just driving the whole length of the court and laying it in, and he's hard to stop in transition. That big hoss, it's hard,
Speaking of somebody who tries to stop LeBron James, let's go over to the Celtics roster.
Exactly.
Marcus Morris started again, only played 24 minutes. He got into foul trouble early, finished with 5 on the night. Only had 10 points, 3 boards, a plus-minus of -9.
Yeah, that's not good.
The highest plus-minus for the Celtics starting 5 was Terry Rozier with 3. Jason Tatum had -14, who had 17 points.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, Celtics leading scorer, with 25 and a -8.
Yeah.
Al Horford only had 2. He had an okay game, 15 points, couple boards.
Yeah. He played.
Stealing the block.
Al Horford played very well, I think, and the shocking thing that I saw in this game is just how many minutes the starters for the Celtics played. It's 4 players on their roster, on their starting 5, played over 38 minutes in this game, and so it's going to be. I think their tiredness, their fatigue started to show. I think they, like I said early in transition, they just looked tired. They looked like they weren't trying as hard as they could, and they looked like they were just gassed, to be honest. And they're ready to get back home and try to take a 3-2 lead.
Well, that's what happens when your 2 best players in the league, and not in the league, I'm sorry, the 2 best players on the roster are injured. I mean,
That's true.
the Kyrie effect is finally starting to slow in the finals, but imagine the Kyrie versus LeBron finals.
Ho, ho,
Oh
ho.
my goodness.
Oh my god.
That would have been something to see.
That would have been something to see, man. Yeah. And also, talking about Al Horford. Jake, you really like Al Horford. Why is that?
I do like Big Al. He's a very low profile all-star.
I agree. Yeah.
He got there this year as a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
He was a starter, I believe, in 2015 in that great season with the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's a great glue guy, and he's been the one constant for this whole season for the Celtics team.
Yeah.
He missed only a handful of games,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, He was a big man presence that they needed. He can shoot a three. He's good on defense.
Okay, so talking about glue guys, you say there's only one other glue guy better in the league, isn't there? Who is that?
That'll be Draymond Green.
Draymond Green.
Shifts to our next topic, the Warriors vs. Rockets game. Let's get into it.
So, Game 4 was a pretty crazy game between the Rockets and the Warriors.
Defensive matchup. 95-92 final.
I would say defensive matchup, yes. They played it in Oakland, in the Bay, at the Warriors' home arena, and at the start of this game, it looked like the Warriors were just going to blow the Rockets out. They jumped out to, I think, a 12-0 lead and ended up
in the first 3 minutes.
In the first 3 minutes,
Unbelievable.
they were just on a run. They had the crowd going crazy, and
Oracle Arena is known to be one of the hardest arenas to play in. So,
and I give the Rockets a lot of credit for climbing their way back. It seems as the first quarter was owned by the Warriors, outscoring the Rockets 28-19. But the second quarter, the Rockets went on a big run, and they ended up outscoring the Warriors 34-18, and they took
a halftime lead,
like a 5-point halftime lead or something like that,
which is very impressive. A big first half of James Harden. He had 22 in the first half. Kind of slowed down in the third, third and fourth, which is what we sadly had to expect from Harden in this postseason. But
yes.
Basically, ended up with Harden carrying the Rockets in the first, Paul carrying them in the second, and enough from the role guys.
Exactly, yeah. So what was your take on James Harden's passing up that wide open 3-pointer and passing it to whoever he passed it? What was your take on that?
I think he passed it to Ariza, who then passed it to Harden.
But why didn't he shoot that?
I don't know. He was tired.
Oh my gosh,
that was nasty.
Passed that up. So embarrassing for James Harden, but they ended up getting the win, so that's good for them.
James had a great defensive game though. 3 steals and 2 blocks.
He did. And those steals, I think all 3 of them ended up with open rocket shots and either layups,
fast break points,
fast break transition points. Yes, and James Harden, we know he's not exactly known for his defense. He's usually known as one of the worst defensive players in the league. But tonight,
I wouldn't say worst.
He's known as one of the worst. He has a reputation as one of the worst.
His defense is underrated. Again, that's why they got Chris Paul.
Exactly, but when he tries, he's a fine defender, as he showed here tonight with his 3 steals. And which allowed him, which I think the 3 steals were in the first half too, which allowed them to jump out to that 5-point lead at halftime.
Correct.
However, after halftime, the dreaded third quarter for the Warriors, they came out and they lit it up in the third quarter, outscoring the Rockets 34-17
which
in the third quarter.
An exact mirror of the second quarter. The Rockets scored 34 to the Warriors 18 in the second. And that was when Steph heated up. He had 5 threes in that quarter.
Yes,
I think his ankle feels fine.
His ankle's all right. Yeah,
Klay Thompson's knee.
Klay Thompson's knee. Yeah, what happened to him?
Klay left in the first, and he was out for maybe like 5 game minutes, and then came back. He still ended up playing 39 minutes, but he did not finish well. He only finished 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Still had a plus-minus of 7, which I thought was strange.
It's not bad, yeah. Klay's known for his defense and his 3-point shooting, so...
That was the second best on the team after Curry, who were at plus 10.
Yeah, but Curry had a plus-minus largely because he didn't play much in the first half. He got 3 fouls early, and he sat for the end of the first quarter and a lot of the second quarter, I think. He ended up sitting for that long, and it was in that point that the Rockets started clawing their way back, and that's how they ended up taking that halftime lead. It was only when Steph got back in the game in the second half with those 3 fouls that he did Steph. He shimmied and he shook and he did his thing. So that was good for them.
Capella had a good game. 13 boards, which is what he's there for. Only 8 points, plus-minus of -9. But even with Capella's 13 boards and PJ Tucker.
PJ Tucker. He's very underrated. I agree. He's the pit bull of the Rockets. He built like a pit bull.
Eric Gordon built like a pit bull.
Oh, they're both built like pit bulls.
Yeah. But PJ, he's another shooter role player. He was 0-2 from 3, but he got 16 boards, 12 defensive boards, which that was really key for the Rockets' late comeback in the fourth. The Rockets still got out-rebounded 49-41. That was due to Draymond and KD. 14 and 12, respectively.
That's true. So, PJ Tucker showed out, the role players of the Rockets showed out. What happened to the Warriors bench? What happened to Nick Young?
Swaggy P.
-14
plus minus. Only got 2 points. He did not have a good game.
He did not. He played very
But
poorly.
your boy Sean Livingston did.
My boy Sean Livingston. Oh, I love that man, Sean Livingston. Come here. Let me talk about him for a second. Come man, Sean Livingston. Okay. So Sean Livingston, as many of us know, he was a very high prospect coming in the draft, and he played very well in the first few years of his career. Was he with the Nets?
He was a Brooklyn Net.
He was a Brooklyn Net.
That's my team, by the way.
That's his team.
Brooklyn Nets, New York Mets, New York Jets.
Nets, Mets, and Jets. Nets, Mets, Jets, and Jaguars. All right. Well, Sean Livingston came out, and during his time in Brooklyn, he ended up hurting his knee, which sucks.
Terrible. It was a terrible injury.
Terrible injury, and now that's why Brooklyn is where they are today. But he ended up he's found his role on the Warriors as a second 6-man-ish, a bench player, backup point guard, and his size, that's I think 6'7", something like that.
He's a big guard, yeah.
His size makes him very, very hard to deal with, and he's got a really nice mid-range shot, which he uses to shoot over smaller defenders.
He didn't really have that good of a night, though. He only had 4 points, and his plus-minus was -15, which at first glance it doesn't look that good, but when Sean Livingston was on the court in the second and third quarter,
yes,
the Warriors scored.
The Warriors scored, and he looked good. A lot of his plays, I think he only, as he said, he only scored 4 points, but both of his shots that he made were like momentum, like starters. I think he had a fast break dunk or something.
He had a monster dunk.
He yammed over Clint Capella. And I think he had another shot that was good. And so Sean Livingston's just kind of like a good. He's a great role player to me, and in this series he's played very well. Everyone saw that in the third game when he did that little rope-a-dope behind the back on James Harden and left him looking stupid as usual, and he dunked. And so I think Sean Livingston is a very underrated player, and in this series he's showing why he's doing that. Who's your underrated player of this series, Jake?
I'm taking another Warriors guy. Well, I'm gonna have two.
You're gonna have
talk about a bench guy for the Rockets and a bench guy for the Warriors. First for the Rockets, Gerald Green.
Gerald Green. Wow. I can't see that, man. I can't see that.
Hear me out.
I'll hear you out. I got you.
Hear me out. He got signed mid-season.
That's true. That's a fact.
He's another veteran guy. He could shoot a 3. He only had 1 3 the game, played 12 minutes, but in those 12 minutes, he got 2 boards and 2 blocks. And that's big.
That's big, yeah.
More defensive stops. He had a plus-minus of 14. That was the highest on the Rockets.
14 plus?
14 plus, yes.
14 plus, okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Highest on the Rockets.
Yeah.
Only 12 minutes. That's big. But for the Warriors, I'm going to take it over to another big, and that would be Jordan Bell.
Oh, Jordan Bell from the Oregon Ducks. Yeah, what a
Correct.
guy. What a guy.
He's an underrated rookie. He had an ankle injury for a lot of this year, so he missed a couple of games, but he's back in the playoffs.
Yes.
And he's their center of the future.
I would agree with that, yeah.
He is their undersized stretch forward who is an athletic freak. He's everything that they need with their small all-stars.
Yeah, with their small ball, yeah.
Small ball lineup. He had a plus-minus of only 1, but he had 6 points, 5 boards, a steal, and a block in 18 minutes.
That's fair, yeah.
In this series, we've seen a lot of guys take advantage of limited time.
Yes.
And, of course, guys shine with great time like your boy Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, my man. CP3, the point god. Just some of his many names. I love that man, Chris Paul. I think he is definitely the key that the Rockets have been missing these past couple years with just James Harden. I mean, in this game, he clearly showed why they signed him for all that money and why they brought him to the Rockets to help them try and
traded for him.
Traded for him.
They have to sign him after this year. He's a free agent after this year.
He's a free agent after this year, and they'd be dumb not to sign him. So
Clint Capella.
Budget cuts. We'll have to see what happens, man. Again,
if they want to sign LeBron, then.
If they want to sign LeBron, I mean, who knows? But Chris Paul in this game, he played 42 minutes, a whopping 42 minutes. That's another thing. Before I talk about that, the Rockets players played a lot of minutes. There were 4 guys in their starting 5 who played 41 minutes or more. So they're going to be very tired on that flight back to Houston in these next couple days. So we'll see how that fatigue wears on them as they have to play the fast run and gun Warriors as they go on. But getting back to Chris Paul, he played 42 minutes and he shot 10 of 20 in the game, which is 50% if you couldn't tell. And so that's
good. By the way, that's good.
That's good.
You never know.
That's a really good shooting percentage. And it seems like with the Rockets, whenever James Harden isn't playing well, Chris Paul is tearing it up. Whenever Chris Paul is not tearing it up, James Harden's doing his thing. And so they're definitely a 1-2 punch now. And the experiment in Houston is definitely working at this point. And so he shot 5 of 9 from 3-pointers, which is
He had some big threes.
Big threes. A lot of threes late in the game, and a lot of threes where the Warriors looked like they were going to go on a run and really stretch the lead out, and then he would hit a three and silence the crowd and just stop that momentum before it got going and not have to use a timeout.
That was really huge in the fourth.
That's huge, yeah.
When the Rockets outscored the Warriors 25-12.
Yeah.
In the fourth.
Yeah, they did it. And it's like a lot of times in basketball, it's not about how much you make, but it's about when you make them. You know, it's like, so if you make only 3 3-pointers, if you make them at critical times, you seem a lot more important than you really are, even if the box score doesn't show that all the time. So yeah, he was very critical to the Rockets. Ended up winning this game, and they ended up winning whatever the score was.
95-92.
95-92.
There's a little bit of error at the end in the final possession.
Yeah, but
when
Warriors,
Chris Paul got fouled by Sean Livingston, so then Chris Paul had to go to the line. He made the first one. He missed the first, made the second, and then Steve Kerr called a timeout. Mm-hmm. And then they drew up a play where Curry would just kind of ran to the corner and tried to get off a three. And but there's only half a second left. He missed. Game over.
Game over.
Rockets win 2-2.
So yeah,
2-2 series.
So yeah, that brings us to what, Jake?
We're gonna keep it in
the NBA,
and we're just gonna talk about the all-rookie teams, which got released yesterday, I believe, 2 days ago.
Something like that.
Not a surprise. I mean, we got the 3 main Rookie of the Year candidates.
Yeah. So in the first team, NBA All-Rookie first team, we have Kyle Kuzma from the Lakers, Lauri Markkanen from the Bulls, Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz.
Rookie of the Year, Donovan Mitchell.
Rookie of the Year.
Just saying.
Hot take.
Hot take.
Vince Simmons from the 76ers and Jason Tatum from the Celtics. What are your thoughts on this, Jake?
Well, I think all these guys are locks, really. I mean, these are the 5 best rookies in this year's class. Yeah. Even though Ben Simmons may not be a rookie.
And may not.
These are the best first-year players. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, the fastest rookie to get 100 threes in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Dame Dollar for that. Correct. He beat Damian Lillard's record this year.
No, I thought Lauri Markkanen. Lauri.
I'm sorry. I got my stats mixed up. Lauri got the fastest to make 100 threes, and Donovan had the most threes by a rookie.
Yeah, okay.
That beat Damian Lillard.
Okay.
Yeah, Donovan, 20.5 points, 3.7 boards, 3.7 assists, 1.5 steals. That's big for a rookie.
That's big for a rookie, yeah.
I mean, him and Ricky Rubio are a good defensive backcourt.
I agree, yeah.
And he's the first rookie to lead a team to 45 wins since David Robinson back in the 89-90 year.
Yeah, the first one to lead in scoring since David Robinson, yeah. And he was a dynamic scorer, especially in the postseason, where his Utah Jazz ended up going in the second round, beating what many thought at the beginning of the year would have been a
championship team. OKC.
OKC Thunder. That big three sucked. That didn't work. That was Mellow. Yeah.
So Paul George is gone.
Yeah, Paul George is gone there.
Melo's going to make $23 million a year doing nothing.
I guess, yeah. So yeah, a lot of people were surprised at this one with Lonzo Ball, my man, not being on the first team all NBA rookie team, but his boy Kyle Kuzma was on there, and it's hard to argue.
Had a great year.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with Kyle Kuzma. He's like
Kuzma at the beginning of the year. Many people may not remember this. At the beginning of the year, the front runners for Rookie of the Year were Kuzma and Jason Tatum. So
yeah,
I mean those guys are there now.
Well, they were the only rookies who were good, right?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen.
We'll get to him later.
Jonathan Isaac?
Don't worry. Yeah, by the way, Brandon is a Orlando Tragic fan.
Orlando Tragic, yeah. So, I love my boys in blue, but they're disappointing me.
Yeah, Kuzma, 16 points a game, 6 boards, 37% from 3. That's good for a rookie.
Better than Lonzo.
He had the second most points for Rook behind Donovan.
Yep. Yeah,
we got all 3 shooters in this all-rookie first team.
Yeah.
Kuzma, great 3 shooter. Lauri Markkanen, he's like a Porzingis 2.0 almost.
Yeah.
Him, Porzingis, Dirk all in the same European big threes category.
Yeah.
Not trying to stereotype them. I mean that's all their games. I mean they're all amazing. Lauri Markkanen is going to be a cornerstone of the Bulls franchise for the future.
I agree.
Probably their best draft since D-Rose.
Probably. So it's hard to tell in just 1 year, but it's looking like that.
He's a lot of potential. Jason Tatum, of course, leading the Boston Celtics in scoring this postseason leading them to the conference finals for the second straight year.
And maybe to the NBA finals, the way it's looking. It's
know.
hard.
We'll
it's
see.
hard
We'll
to beat
see.
the Celtics at the Garden, so I don't know. We'll have to see.
Jason Tatum, 43% from three. 43%.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
So-
and of course, Ben Simmons,
Yeah.
triple-double machine,
Yeah, the man himself, yeah.
no jump shot.
The wonder from down under. That's
The
what they
wonder
call
from
him.
down under.
So yeah, basically for this first team, a lot of these were givens for the rookies, and we mostly
I
agree.
think these were all good.
Yeah, these were. It's a solid pick. No gripes here. But the second team ended up being my man Lonzo Ball, the Lakers. Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Kings.
He did good for me in fantasy.
He did good for me in fantasy. Yeah, I think I dropped him and you picked him up, didn't you?
Possibly.
Oh my God. John Collins from the Hawks, Josh Jackson from the Suns, and Dennis Smith Jr. from the Mavericks. And what's your take on Dennis Smith Jr.? He seemed very electric at the beginning of the year. Why did he drop off so much, you think?
He didn't drop off. He had a great year.
So, okay.
He got a triple-double or two.
Or two.
I mean, first of all, do you consider Ben Simmons a point guard?
Ben Simmons is... I think there's two definitions of point guard, I think. Point guard, there's a position point guard that you see on the starting lineups, the starting five, and on TNT at night, but also the other definition to me of a point guard is the guy that's handling the ball and distributing to his teammates and running the offense for his team. So by that
Correct.
definition, yes, Ben Simmons is a point guard, and that even may include LeBron James as a point guard. And
That
sometimes
also includes Donovan Mitchell as a point guard.
exactly. And
So,
Dominance is a
if we're
point guard.
considering Ben Simmons, he's someone who's listed as a point guard in the lineups.
Yeah.
So, I'll say Dennis Smith Jr. would be the second best rookie point guard this year. I mean, he had a great year. 15 points
So
a game,
is he better than-
five assists, 3 boards, 1 steal.
Is he better than Mitchell?
Is he better than Mitchell? Probably not.
Probably not.
I
So
mean,
so Mitchell and Simmons are
again,
top two
Point guards?
point guards.
The players who play point guards. The rookies.
The rookies is Simmons a point guard? Yes, right.
Yes.
And so Mitchell's a point guard too, correct?
Correct.
So Smith is probably the third best point guard in this draft class, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, that's what we got.
Again,
Okay.
though, he had an amazing year.
He did,
He
yeah.
got a triple-double or two. He's another great pick by the Mavs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do next year. I think they're going to try to sign a big and then try to make one last playoff run with Dirk. They got Dennis Smith there.
Dennis Smith is
He's
their point guard of the future, yeah.
He's locked in. Josh Jackson. He was a high pick. He
Yeah.
started the year terrible.
Yeah, he played not play
He
well at the
was
beginning of the year. He looked
bad.
out of his element. He looked like the game was way too just
Dropping
fast for him.
9 a night. Terrible shooting. And then after the All-Star break, something heated up. And he started dropping 20 a night.
Playing well, frankly. Yeah, just playing
Yeah.
well.
After the All-Star break, he averages 18.5 and 6 boards. For the season, he's still respectable 13 a game, 4 boards a game, 1 steal. And him and Devin Booker, they're good for the Suns. I mean,
Yeah,
they got to get some talent around them.
obviously.
I mean, I know they've been looking for a point guard forever to pair with D-Book in the backcourt.
Yeah, D-Book, yeah.
I mean, worst comes to worst, he can come to Brooklyn.
He come to Orlando. What's wrong with that?
Well, Alfred Payton went from Orlando to the Suns.
He did. What's wrong with Alfred Payton? He cut his hair.
He cut his hair. That's true. I don't know if he'll sell his powers.
I don't know if he saw his mojo, but
But I don't know. Maybe they re-signed Alfred, but him and D-Book got some chemistry.
Yeah.
So in the draft, they got a number 1 pick. Obviously, they're either going Doncic or Aiden. Because their 2
Ayton.
biggest needs are point guard and big.
I would
They
say
got-
Ayton.
A lot of people say Aiden just because he's a local boy. He's from Phoenix.
And
Or
because he's a
he went to
7'1",
Arizona
260-pound monster.
That too. That
Athletic
helps.
freak.
It helps when you score 20 points a game.
Yeah, he's just a beast. And with Devin Booker on the outside and John Drayton on the inside, they could potentially be the 10th best team in the West next year.
The West is unbelievable.
Yeah, West is
Josh
stacked.
Jackson can space the floor too. So
Jackson can't space the floor too, so the
But-
Suns' future may be a little bright. Maybe. We'll see.
But back to the all-rookie second team. We still got 3 more to cover. John Collins, great rookie for the Hawks.
Yeah.
He's probably their center of the future.
It says here, 57.6% field goal percentage on the season. How incredible is that?
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
That's
It's 'cause
good. I mean, he's a big, but I mean, that's so great.
That's so great.
He had the second most blocks, and second most blocks per game after my boy Jared Allen.
But boy, Jared Allen.
But we'll get to him later again.
Yeah.
Bogdan Bogdanovic, Bojan's brother.
Yeah.
He's a 26-year-old rookie. The Kings drafted him, I think, like 3 years ago, and just stashed him in Europe. And then he finally came out last offseason, signed his contract, and had a great year. 12 points, 3 assists, 39% from 3, 45% overall.
Not bad.
He's good.
He's good.
My only problem is he's a little bit past his prime.
You think so? 26. He's still in his
he's
prime.
nearing it. We have 19-year-old rookies this year.
Yeah, but who knows? 26 is still a young man.
So hopefully him and De'Aaron Fox can develop
Exactly.
good chemistry soon, and that can be a solid backcourt in the future.
Solid backcourt. And then, my
Finally.
man, Lonzo Ball.
Save the best for last.
Yes, sir. Lonzo Ball. Okay, what is there to say about this guy? He's the best. No, in all seriousness, I'm a huge fan of Lonzo's game. I just think he's a very well-rounded player, and his jump shot still needs work. But in this season, he averaged 10 points per game, 7 assists per game, and 7 rebounds per game, as well as 1.7 steals. So that's
Triple-double machine, too.
triple-double.
A lot of triple-doubles this year.
He's on triple-double watch every night, and so it's just I love how he plays, and it seems like when he's on the court, the offense runs better with him on the court. The Lakers get more good looks, more good possessions, and they score more and play better as a team. In addition to that, he's a culture changer. When passing is contagious, you know? And so when he's passing, everyone's looking for the extra pass and looking for the open man more than they're looking to take contested fadeaway jump shots and bad stuff. So Lonzo, I love his game. I think once he develops a jump shot and gets a little bit more aggressive, he's going to be a really good player in the league. He's 6'6", 6'5".
Big guard.
He's a big man for a guard. He's a long boy, and I think the future is very bright for Lonzo as long as his dad can stay out of his way.
The future is very bright for the Lakers organization
The Lakers
as a whole, with Lonzo, Kuzma, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
They have a great young core.
And LeBron's going to go there.
They're going to get a big free agent this offseason. So
This offseason, they're either going to get one or more of these players. They're either going to get LeBron, Kawhi, or Paul George. One or more of those.
Kawhi's not a free agent, so
Kawhi might be.
there have been reports that he wants to sign the Spurs are going to offer him a max contract.
Yeah, but they're dumb for that. I would not offer Kawhi Leonard a max contract after he's been healthy and refused to play for your organization for basically an entire year. And a team that could have won a first-round playoff series ended up not.
They could have won the finals with Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge.
They couldn't have won the finals. They're not good enough to beat.
They could have gone to the finals.
Maybe. Well, actually, I take that back. Their first-round opponent was the Warriors, so. But with Kawhi playing, they would have been a much higher seed.
7th seed with Kawhi.
They would have been a much higher seed, and they would have beaten one of the lower seeds of the Western Conference. And Kawhi basically screwed over the Spurs for an entire year by just dragging them along behind him and knowing that, waiting on his every move and seeing if he's going to play. So I don't see how you can offer a supermax contract to a guy like that, to a guy who's going to be pissy and just not good like that. So
well, if you remember last offseason, LaMarcus Aldridge also wanted to be traded, and Pop met with him, and they fixed things out.
yeah, but they fixed things.
And I'm sure that Pop, he will definitely be given the opportunity to do it with Kawhi. Do you think he can?
Pop is a top 3 coach of all time. So
He is the best coach of all time.
Yes.
In any sport.
Maybe, yes. I don't know about Belichick, but Pop is
It's him or Belichick. But
Pop-
anyways.
Pop is I think Pop is a really good figure. He's a good leader. He's a good role model, and if anybody could do it, it would be Popovich. So I would like to see that, but if Kawhi is not going to be all in, I would not offer him a supermax contract, and I would let him do his thing. So that's just my opinion. But turning from the NBA now to the NFL. So NFL, what's happening in the NFL recently?
Off-season, draft, end of free agents. ESPN recently released an article. I forgot the exact name, but it was about like quarterback security for all 32 teams.
Yeah, exactly. The quarterback security ratings and how good their quarterback position is, essentially.
Basically, the whole list was baloney. It was not a good rating. It was not good.
I agree.
This was post-draft, so include the rookies that were drafted. But I mean, let's just go through it.
Exactly.
Eagles are number 1.
Eagles number 1, that's fair.
Yes.
Carson Wentz and Nick Foles are both starting caliber quarterbacks in this league.
In that system.
In that system, I think
if you win a Super Bowl with
a backup, then you're straight.
You're number
so
one.
They're good.
Number 2, Packers.
Aaron Rodgers.
I agree with that.
Aaron Rodgers, and they have some other guy, don't they? And Deshaun Kaiser.
They traded for Kaiser. They had Brett Hundley when Rodgers was injured last year. So hopefully they can squeeze a little bit out of one of those two guys in case Rodgers goes down again for a couple games. But Aaron Rodgers is the most dangerous quarterback in the league when healthy.
He's the most talented quarterback in NFL history when healthy.
Correct.
In my opinion, personal opinion.
He's not as accomplished as Brady. I mean, his lack of rings may be due to being in the NFC.
Honestly, if I could compare him to one person, it'd be LeBron James. Compared to a basketball player.
Correct.
He's the same in the sense that he's the best player on a team that would be nothing without him, essentially. So, Aaron Rodgers, he plays well.
And they're also both the second best quarterbacks and second best players in their history.
So Aaron Rodgers is a perennial MVP candidate every year, and he's just a great guy. So I agree with the Packers. Number 2, and then going on, the Patriots at number 3. They got Tom Brady.
Yeah, you got
it. Makes sense.
He's healthy. They drafted a left tackle to replace Nate Solder.
Yeah, they're fine. They had a good draft. Number 4, New Orleans Saints. That's fair too. Drew Brees is there.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Unbelievable. No doubt. First ballot, just great guy too. You know?
He will.
I love that man.
He will break passing records this year held by Peyton Manning. My boy.
This year and next year, yeah, he will.
I believe he's on pace to break them next year if he keeps it up.
Yeah, he will.
Manning's touchdown records, passing records, all
He
that.
probably will. Okay.
Got cheesed by his safety in the.
Marshawn Lattimore, wasn't it?
No,
rookie.
it was not Lattimore.
It wasn't.
He got messed up by safety. Minneapolis Miracle.
They beat Minnesota.
Drew Brees beat Minnesota.
Yes.
His second.
Number 5, the Seahawks. That's fair. Russell Wilson.
Well, I don't know.
The Legion of Boom.
Because they have the Steelers at number 11.
Yeah, but the Steelers at number 11 is fair because Ben Roethlisberger has said multiple times in the past year, I don't know if I have it anymore. I don't know if I can do anything. He's honestly, he seems very unconfident, unsure of himself, and there's not as a great quarterback and elite as he once was.
Well,
and also with his draft fiasco, they drafted.
That's why I think he should be higher. Because Mason Rudolph could have been a first rounder. He could have been a late first rounder for a team like the Patriots if they really wanted to go that path.
That's fair.
So being under a top 10 quarterback and waiting for his final 3 years will be good for Rudolph and give him the momentum that he needs as long as him and Ben can get along.
But I also say that Ben Roethlisberger has been a big diva basically about this whole situation. He's just been kind of a meanie to Mason Rudolph, for lack of a better term. He's been very just not good and not refusing to mentor him and basically seeing that the drafting of him as a challenge to his rights as the quarterback basically, and so he does not like that, which is not good.
Well, anyway, back to the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, he is a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But their second string quarterback, they had to release him. He was with some legal issues, so I don't know if they re-sign another second string quarterback, but I mean,
that's fair.
They need Russell Wilson to play at an MVP level if they have a chance of doing anything momentum.
The Legion of Boom is pretty much done.
It's over.
The Seahawks, they're relying on Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin, that's it. So I expect hot take.
Rashad Penny.
The Seahawks are not going to be that good this year. That's
not a hot take.
That's not a hot take. They may be less than 500.
They will be lucky to reach 500 this year.
That's fair.
Even with Russell Wilson's heroics.
Number 6, the Falcons. I think it's very fair. They just locked up Matt Ryan with a 5-year
$150
fat deal. That thing is fat.
He is now the highest paid quarterback. He's like
in the NFL history.
Fifth person to break it this year.
In the past 5 years.
Past 2 years.
They're locked up.
He had a little bit of a down year last year, but that was partially due to a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you
can't replace Kyle Shanahan.
You can't replace him.
But Calvin Ridley, that could be the best wide receiver core in the league. Julio Ridley and Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah, that's not bad. Matt Ryan definitely has no lack of weapons in the receiver
Of course,
position.
also one of the best backcourts in the league.
Backfields.
Forget
this is the NBA, Jake. Backfields, yeah, with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, the 1-2 punch, who are also very good receivers out of the backfield. So Matt Ryan has no excuse not to be an MVP contender this year. Point blank.
Number 7, we have the Lions.
Matthew Stafford.
He's very solid.
Country boy, solid. There's nothing more to say. He's
very good.
Chargers. This is interesting, though. I don't know if I put the Chargers this high.
I like Phillip Rivers.
I like him too, but he's old.
36 is not old for a quarterback in this league. Chargers did a lot this offseason. They revamped their O-line. They got a new center, a new guard, I believe.
Yeah.
Had one of the best steals in the draft.
Who?
Derwin James at 17.
Oh yeah.
He was projected to be like one of the fourth best prospects.
Hey, Derwin James is alright, but he's no Jalen Ramsey. But continue.
That's a different subject. Back to Phillip Rivers. He's always been an amazing quarterback in this league.
True.
And the Chargers can make some noise in this very weak AFC West.
Yeah, that's fact. I do think the Chargers are very underrated, and their defense is strong too, which gives Phillip Rivers the tools he needs to make
He has
at
Melvin
least
Ingram on the D line,
and Joey
Melvin
Bosa.
Gordon, Joey Bosa,
and
Melvin Gordon
in the backfield. So he's got the tools he needs to make a playoff run. The Vikings,
number 9. That's a little iffy for
that's
me.
iffy.
Kirk Cousins.
Who is their starting? Kirk Cousins?
They signed Kirk Cousins, took him from the Jets. Thank God they did.
Yeah.
But Cousins, I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. He's definitely in the upper half, so top 15. But I have a slight feeling that he's gonna not live up to all the hype under him. I mean, he can be an improvement over Case Keenum.
Yes, I agree.
But Case Keenum was in that system for like 2 years before he started this year.
Yeah.
He had familiarity with it. But the Vikings are one of the most Super Bowl ready teams in this league. They were a nearly perfect team last year. So if Cousins can be solid, then then he could be a top 5 quarterback this year and show some success in the playoffs. They have a ring.
Okay, number 10, the Cowboys. I don't agree with this at all. I think Dak Prescott is a mediocre quarterback at best in this league without Zeke.
I think this year, Dak showed that, it wasn't a sophomore slump. He was just
showed his mediocrity.
Who he is.
Yeah.
And he's a mediocre quarterback.
With Zeke, he's good, but without him, he is mediocre, so that's not a good...
They finished 9-7, I believe, just missed the playoffs. That's still a good record, especially in the NFC.
Not for the Cowboys, though. But okay.
Not for the Cowboys, not for Jerry Jones.
We already talked about the Steelers. The Panthers, they have Cam Newton. He's Cam Newton. He's going to have ups and downs with him, and so we'll see. They
had no wide receivers last year. They added a lot this year. They drafted DJ Moore. They got Torrey Smith from the Eagles.
Yeah. So I would just say...
If they have a healthy Greg Olsen...
They're fine.
Of course, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Cam is Cam. We know we're getting with Cam Newton.
Cam is great. I love Cam. We got...
The Giants.
At 13... No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Not a 37-year-old
Eli Manning's an old fart, and he's definitely the younger brother to Peyton Manning in the sense that he is not nearly as good as him, and he did not age very well last year. He had a very down year.
Correct.
Partly because Odell was out.
They lost 3 receivers in one game.
Yeah.
But I mean, this year the Giants have a great chance to bounce back because, of course,
Odell should be healthy. Saquon should be good.
Odell, Saquon Barkley. They got Nate Solder.
Yeah.
They have one of the best young tight ends in the league in Evan Ingram.
Yep, that's fair.
Sterling Shepard is a good second-string receiver.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hope for this revamped Giants who are really in a win-now mode.
Exactly.
Dave Gettleman did not draft a quarterback. Thank you, Dave. The Jets will be thanking you for years. And we'll see what happens week 1.
We'll see what happens when they play my Jacksonville Jaguars.
Our
Jacksonville Jaguars. Nets, Mets, Jets, and Jaguars, baby.
And the Islanders. We got a little bit higher.
And the Islanders. And the Lightning. Tampa Bay Lightning.
You have your Atlanta Braves.
And my Atlanta Braves. Okay. That's besides the point. Number 14, the Redskins. Who they signed? Alex Smith.
They traded for Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. He's a solid starter in the league.
Quarterback in the league last year.
He's a solid starter in the league. You know what you're getting from him.
He's not a solid starter. He's an amazing quarterback.
He's a solid starter.
He's always underrated for his whole career.
He's top half, definitely.
Top 5.
I don't know about that.
Top 10.
Alex Smith is a starter.
He's a great quarterback. He's an upgrade from Kirk Cousins.
I think he's not on the same level.
Okay.
He's more mobile, but otherwise... Number 15, the Raiders, they have Derek Carr pretty much in lock.
Well, hold on. Let's go back. Let's talk about 15, 16, and 17 all in a row. We got Derek Carr for the Raiders, Marcus Mariota for the Titans, and Jameis Winston for the Bucks.
A lot of young quarterbacks.
All these guys are young quarterbacks, so they're all around 25, all got big contracts.
Yeah.
And they all had a down year last year.
They all had a down year. True.
Bad. After high expectations, the Titans were the only one in that group to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and when they came back on Alex Smith's Chiefs, just to say, came down from 21.
That's Andy Reid's fault.
That's Andy Reid's fault. So that's Travis Kelce's
Raiders
fault.
Finished 6-10, unacceptable because they only won 12 games 2 years ago.
We'll see what John Gruden does. Hopefully he'll be
signing
good.
up with 30-years.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's Bucks. Jameis had a good year.
He
got injured.
He ate a W once or twice, but
He got injured, but he had a good year. It was his secondary that killed him last year. They had the worst secondary in the league.
he didn't play well.
Secondary and
Mike
defense
Evans,
as a whole.
Yeah.
And they upped their D-line. They got Jason Pierre-Paul. They drafted Vinave.
So what about number 18, the Bengals? Andy Dalton, redheaded. What do they call him? The Red Rocket?
I don't.
Something like
I
that.
don't
But
know
he's
talking
bad.
about
So
Andy Dalton.
he's bad
He's mediocre at his
best. So that's all there is to
He's
say.
a good pocket passer. That's about it.
18 is an appropriate placement.
For Andy Dalton,
Yeah,
I'd say 20, 22.
I would say that's pretty much appropriate though.
I would switch
Rams.
I would switch Andy Dalton's Bengals with our Jacksonville Jaguars, who got snubbed and put at 24.
Agreed.
BB5 the God.
BB5 the God.
Not the 25th best.
He's not the
quarterback in
24th
league.
best quarterback in the league. In my eyes, he's top 20 at least.
We have a system for him now, and he thrives in it.
Exactly. He played
Give
very
respect.
well. He played very well toward the end of the year and in the playoffs, and he led our Jacksonville Jaguars within one whistle blow of going to the Super Bowl and competing with the
Miles Jack wasn't down.
He wasn't down. Yeah, Miles Jack. I'm still peeved about that, and the Jaguars beat the Patriots, except they're one whistle blow away from Miles Jack returning that fumble for a touchdown, and then they're up 17 with about 8 minutes left, and that's game. Correct. They were one whistle blow away with Blake Bortles leading the helm. He threw for something like 300 yards and a touchdown in that final game, and he played pretty well against the Patriots.
He couldn't leave that game. He could not leave that game when he drove against a weak Pat Stevens, but it's okay. It was his first postseason.
I guess.
We signed him. We'll give him some wiggle room.
Got him for 3 years. 51 million or something like that.
51.
Something like that. So we have him for the next 3 years, giving him more opportunities and more help around him to win. So Jaguars are in a win now mode with Blake Bortles, who is terribly. They got snubbed by us and placed him at 24.
Number 19, Jared Goff for the Rams, also very snubbed. He had an amazing year. The
Ravens. Oh yeah.
The Rams.
Rams at 19 got snubbed.
He had an amazing year. Sean McVay and Jared Goff.
Yeah, they played well together.
One of the best offenses in the league. Number 20,
Texans. I would put Texans much lower.
Lower? With Deshaun Watson.
With Deshaun Watson coming off an ACL tear. You never know what you're getting with an ACL tear. It was a very small sample size.
Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback in the league for those 6 games he started.
He played well. He did. He played well, but you never know what you're
quarterback.
getting coming off an ACL tear. He's still a young guy. He's still gonna make mistakes, and so I would put them a little bit lower. But I like Deshaun Watson as a quarterback. I can't make a huge justification for that kind of movement at this point.
Correct. 21 Broncos. We'll see what Case Keenum does.
See what Case Keenum does. Thank God they got rid of Brock Osweiler and Trevor Siemian.
Old Demaryius Thomas, old Emmanuel Sanders. We'll see what he can do with that.
They're still all right though. They're still all right.
That's a great wide receiver duo.
Yeah. 22 49ers, that's terrible for me. The 49ers at 22, that's awful. Jimmy Garoppolo is a top 10 quarterback in this league.
Well, we don't know that.
And they have him locked up for 5 years.
There's a lot of speculation talking about if Jimmy G is overhyped or not.
He's not overhyped. He ate on I watched this game live. He did very well against the Jaguars secondary. That was probably arguably the best in the league.
He destroyed the Jaguars defense.
He's never lost a start in the NFL, and he played great for 5 years in San Francisco. San Francisco was like 2-8 before he started. He won 5 straight games.
Correct.
So I can't see him at 22.
Jimmy Garoppolo leading the 49ers, they scored the most points against the Jags defense this year.
Yeah, that's fair. They did.
So he's a lot of potential.
23. So I would put the 49ers way higher. 23, the Ravens, that's fair.
Joe Flacco,
Lamar Jackson, the controversy. Whenever you draft a first-round quarterback, it's going to spark controversy with your pre-existing quarterback if he's an old white dude who's mediocre, a.k.a. Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco is a textbook definition of that. He's probably gone after this year.
After this year, if he does not perform, he's gone.
Lamar Jackson, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the Jags passed on him.
I wouldn't say that.
I wish we'd have drafted him. Could have developed him under BB5 the God.
Alright, yeah.
On to 25, the Colts.
Andrew
Luck.
What's
going on?
What's going on?
We have no clue.
Andrew Luck just has had the worst offensive line in the league for a long time, and he's just gotten battered up, and he's finally going to be back. So he was
with Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, Quentin Nelson. He's an elite quarterback when healthy, but we don't know what we're getting now. He hasn't thrown a football in like a year. We don't know what we're getting. So it's very
he still hasn't thrown yet. So.
25 is an appropriate placement.
26 Bears.
Mitch Trubisky. We'll see what he does.
He'll probably have another. He could
mediocre
have
year.
a Jared Goff-esque jump with Frank Nagy coming in.
Mhm.
And they got Allen Robinson, Trey Burton,
Yeah.
Taylor Gabriel.
They got some weapons now. So
27 Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. We'll see what he can do.
You can't,
He
all those
looked
rookie
very
quarterbacks.
good against a solid Denver defense last year.
Yeah.
His 1 start. 28 Dolphins. They're the worst.
They should be
They're
32.
the worst.
They
That
have
should be 32.
Jay Cutler retired. He was terrible. Ryan Tannehill is hurt, and he played receiver
He's
in
30
college.
now.
He played receiver
He's
in
30
college,
now.
and he's a mediocre quarterback at best. So the Dolphins, in our opinion, should be way down there. In your Jets AFC East, that's good for you.
Speaking of my Jets were at 31.
31.
Which is unacceptable.
Unacceptable. They drafted
Sam Darnold. That's all
It's
I
hard.
have to say.
It's okay. I see where you're coming from, but it's hard to judge a rookie quarterback with any sort of security at all. So while they could be, we think Sam Darnold is a instant starter, but it's
He's
just
not
hard.
an instant starter.
It's hard to say.
They're gonna have McCown start again. We'll see if he can win.
And Josh
today.
McCown, you know exactly what you're getting from him week in and week out. So
He's very solid.
I can't see them at
He can
31.
run. He can do deep passes.
The Browns at 29.
Nine.
That's fair.
We
suck.
don't know. Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield have
Yeah.
very similar games. They're both
So,
supposed to be dead on accurate and can run.
Yeah.
Take a hit.
So we'll have to see.
So it'll
Cardinals
be easy
at
for
30.
them to keep their offense consistent depending on who starts.
Yeah.
Cardinals at 30. Sam Bradford, his knee is
And-
not alive.
And there were 9 mistakes ahead of Josh Rosen, so
That's what he said.
so we'll see how he does in this
And they
first
have the
potential
Bills
year.
at 32, which I think the Bills should be 31.
That's Bills are 31, but
Josh Allen,
it's very fair.
he will take 2 to 3 years. To
Josh
become
Allen's a big question
good
mark.
quarterback if he can. AJ McCarron.
And Nathan
We'll see what he
Peterman.
can do.
Nathan Peterman has a big nose and he's a big question
But
mark.
Pete
So.
Man threw 5 interceptions.
That's not
in one
good.
half. All right, we're going to take a quick break and then go on to our final section of the podcast.
And from the NFL, we're going to transition to our weekly Jaguars corner. Duval! The Jaguars section where we just talk about the current state of the Jaguars and what's going on in them. And at this point, OTAs just started, which is a time for the rookies that we just drafted to help them try to get acquainted with the NFL and just see what they got. So, what was your initial reactions to the Jaguars draft, Jake?
Mediocre. I mean, it was mostly
Oh
depth.
my gosh.
It was mostly depth guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Taven Bryan, he is a depth guy. He's a fat guy from the Gators. I don't know
For
what
my Florida Gators.
if you're Florida Gators. I don't know what to expect from him. I mean, he's probably just gonna replace Dante Fowler after we don't pay him $20 million a year after next offseason. DJ Chark, I like him.
I like
He's
him.
a lot of potential.
He runs a 4.340. That's crazy.
unbelievable. Well, he'll be another deep threat with Keelan Cole.
Mhm.
But I mean, our wide receiver room, we got like a bunch of number 2s. That's our room.
That's fair. That's fair. Our wide receiver room: DJ Chark, Keelan Cole, Marquise Lee,
Dede Westbrook.
D.D. Westbrook, and Dante Moncrief. So, and
Those
as
are
well
all
as
really number 2 guys.
they're
We'll
all really
see
number 2 guys. Yeah.
If Marquise Lee can please not drop as many balls
Mhm.
this year.
I know.
And
And yeah,
Keelan Cole, he led us in receiving yards this year.
Yeah.
Expects continuous greatness from him.
I know. Undrafted. What about the 3rd round pick, Ronnie Harrison from Alabama?
He's a good safety. He'll replace Aaron Colvin, who got swiped by the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Another depth move.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
true.
all. I don't know that much about him.
True. Okay, so then in the 4th round they picked up Will Richardson, a tackle from North Carolina State, who was a very dominant guy. He's a big hoss on the offensive line for North Carolina State, but he had a lot of off the field issues, which is why he fell so far. But if we can fix that, which I think Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone can fix that, then he'll be a good guy.
Another depth move.
No depth. No, he might start to replace Can or Parnell, or probably AJ Can, who's mediocre.
I can see that. Okay.
In the 6th round, we pick up Tanner Lee, quarterback, Nebraska. Again, a depth move, a guy who can hopefully develop, but mostly for right now, unless he completely shows out at training camp or something, he's just going to be a practice squad body, probably.
He's a practice squad body.
Yep. 7th round picks, we had Leon Jacobs, linebacker from Wisconsin, just a depth again. And then Logan Cook, punter from Mississippi State, which I was very questionable about. I think that why do you draft a punter when you could have just drafted someone else and signed him in the offseason, and draft free agency, because he was not going to get picked. So that's a weird move, but it's hard to be upset about a 7th round pick.
We had to replace Brad Norman because he's a little old. He's 30-ish.
Is he on the team anymore?
We released him because we drafted Logan Cook.
Okay.
Also because he was due to make like $20 million a year, something crazy like that, which is you can't do that for a punter, especially because our Jaguars are so cap strapped now.
Yeah.
With all the big free agency signings.
Yeah.
Andrew Noel, $70 million, whatever.
Something like that.
And of
Crazy.
course Calais last offseason.
Yeah.
And everything. So
we got the big money. Shad Khan bringing in the Bucks. You know how it is.
yes, sir.
So all right, that was our little Jacksonville. So, what's your predictions for the Jaguars season this year?
Probably 10-6 again.
Super Bowl? Question mark.
Yes. I can see us going there.
I can see us going there too. I think
Patriots are as weak as they've been in the Brady Belichick era.
I agree, and Steelers as well.
We have the Steelers. We own the Steelers.
We own the Steelers.
We own Heinz Field.
They're weak, so I agree with Jake. I think we could go to the Super Bowl this year and possibly win it. I think we have a 2 to 3 year window right now. The Jaguars do with where everyone's young and we have a good defense. And
well, Calais is 34.
Calais is 34, but our team core is mostly young.
Correct.
And
we'll see how the injuries treat us this season. Because last season we got super lucky. We were the healthiest team in the league. So we'll see how that affects us this season. We'll see how Blake can do with his new receiver core. We'll see Fournette lead the league in rushing yards.
We'll see if Blake grows some hair. So expectations in Jacksonville are super, super high for these Jaguars, and I think they have the potential and the coach and the front office as a whole to do it this year and potentially win the Super Bowl. So that's my prediction: is we're going to go to the Super Bowl and we're going to win it. Don't quote me, don't at me, but
don't quote them.
Don't quote me, but Jaguars Super Bowl. What is it? 54.
53.
Super Bowl 53 champions, 2019. You heard it here first, folks. So that's about it for the podcast today.
That's wrapping up the first episode of the weekly Sportscast. Next week, we will have some NBA all-defensive teams for you, which just got released as we were recording.
Yeah.
And what else is on the show?
What's this? We'll have to have conference finals reactions because the series should be
more conference finals.
Pretty much over.
It might be closed by then. We'll see.
Finals reactions.
I could see both of these go to 7.
I could too, yeah. But we will find something to talk about to y'all. So thank y'all.
Thank you for tuning in. Tell your friends. If you have questions for a possible mailbag, email us at theweeklysportscast@gmail.com.
Yeah, so have a good day, y'all. See you.